Fun with Research. This is Susan Beyer, and today we're talking about something I believe in so strongly. I'm really excited to talk with you today about something that's fundamental to the value of any research that you are going to be able to do, and that is the difference between data and insight and helpful insight. So many people fail to think about this, and it will make the difference between a successful research initiative and one that falls flat. So let's talk about that a little bit. So number one is data. Data is just numbers. Data is just information. We are awash in data. If you're an agency, a lot of your clients have data on where people have clicked, what people have purchased, how often they've purchased, what they spent. They may have information on their demographics or their zip code or their email address. That's all data. Lots and lots of data. The next step above data is insight. And insight is what data tells you, right? Insight is what happens when you crunch all of that and you see, oh, this is interesting, right? Women are more likely to do this, or men are more likely to do that, or that is a trend that seems to be growing. So insight is what analysis does to data, and it's incredibly important. The crux of the problem is that a lot of people don't move from insight to helpful insight. So your clients may have a whole bunch of data. They may have analyzed that data, but they may not have really found anything that tells them what they need to do next from a marketing standpoint, right? Knowing that 40% of your customers are women and 60% are men doesn't necessarily help you do a better job from a marketing standpoint. So it's insight, but it's not particularly helpful. Helpful insight is when you get something that tells you what to do from a marketing standpoint, that makes it very clear what you can do as a marketer to make things better for your clients. Helpful insight starts at the strategic level when you're developing a research project. It starts at the very beginning. And of course, you don't know what you're going to find when you do research. If you do, you're probably not doing it right. But so you don't know what insight you're going to get, but you probably have a pretty good idea, if you are an experienced marketer, of the kinds of information that are likely to be helpful to you. So for example, where are people getting information about the category that you are in? Where are they hearing about providers? Who are they trusting for information? What kinds of activities are they doing related to that category? So if you're an association, you want to know the extent to which people are going to conferences, people are participating in continuing education programs, walking the trade floor. Those kinds of things can help you understand the dynamics of what is going on with the people that you are trying to reach and trying to study. So you have to start at the very beginning of a project thinking about what would be helpful insight. And it's going to be different for every single project. And even if you have two clients in the same category, what may be helpful insight for each of them can be somewhat different. So you really need to start thinking about this at the beginning and incorporating questions into your research that are going to give you answers. Like I said, you don't know what you're going to find, but you can have an idea of, boy, if we did find this, wouldn't that be interesting? Or if we learned more about this dynamic, wouldn't that be helpful? I see a lot of folks working with research that's just insight, packaged research reports that say, here's what the category looks like overall, none of which really applies directly to their client's customers, that geography, that competitive set, whatever, so ends up not being particularly helpful. So one of the first things we do in our projects is ask people to think about what would be most helpful for you to learn out of this. What would really turn the tables given what you are trying to accomplish? Well, we really want to know if what we're seeing among older customers is similar among younger generations, or if they feel differently, those kinds of things. Terrific. That's something you can build into a research project, whether it's focus groups or an online survey or some sort of behavioral monitoring That's the kind of thing that you have to know. So this concept is incredibly important, and I would encourage you to sort of look at the situation you have with your clients and try to differentiate between just data, insight, and actual helpful insight. And if you're missing helpful insight, research is a great place to start to get it. So I hope you all found that helpful, near and dear to my heart. Check out funwithresearch.com for answers to more questions about research and resources for agencies wanting to work with research a little more often. And if you have any questions, there's a form there where you can ask a question and we'll answer it on the show. So thanks very much for listening today. Hope you have a great one, and thanks for visiting Fun with Research. We'll see you next Friday. Bye.